good morning. Say good morning.
Morning!
Oh, that's good. You're all awake. Do that again.
Good morning! Morning!
See, I knew you couldn't do it twice. Oh, good morning and welcome. In case you're wondering who the hell this is, my name is Roy Lilley, and it's my great pleasure to be helping to chair you through the day. If you're thinking, who the hell is Roy Lilley? Well, I used to be the chairman of a health authority, and I used to be the chairman of a trust. I used to be a policy advisor. I used to be the leader of my local council. I used to be the mayor. I used to be the youngest person ever to have run a public company. And I used to run my own businesses. So you can see I'm the kind of professional has-been that I bring out on occasions like this to tell you when lunch is going to be ready. I was at a conference the other day. A woman came up to me. She said, "Are you here for the health conference?" I said, "I am." She said, "I thought so. Didn't you used to be somebody?" Really pissed me off. Now listen, I've got all these crappy things to tell you about, you know, I mean, if there's a fire, frankly, you're on your own, but it's out there and downstairs, and you've got to stay, the assembly point is outside GMEC. I've no idea where that is. If it's raining, I'm not going to mess my hair up. The toilet, what's this toilet? People can find their own way to the toilets, can't they? If you're not sure, ask the nurse. Breakout sessions. Now, if you have a look at the back of your badges, your breakout sessions are on there, all right? So don't come grizzling later on that you've missed your session and all that. You're all big grown-up people. Sort yourselves out. I can't this. Right, now we've got a bit of a palaver at lunchtime because apparently the caterers are crap and they've made a balls up. But no, it's not true. There's a lot of you here, and the flow. We've got a sort of flow out, apparently, to get you all through lunch. So when you finish the breakout sessions this morning, I normally laugh at flow. When you finished your breakout sessions this morning, would you please come back and sit at the table? Don't go just for lunch, because we're going to take you in a table at a time, so you don't have to stand up in a great long queue. So that's that. What else does it say? Move the slides on with the clicker. No, I haven't got
That's it. That'll do.
Is that right? Keep
yeah.
the time. It says here.
Yep.
Yeah. I've got no chance of getting that. Right. Okay. Well, I've got to fill up the gap now between me, the blonde, and Andrew. Can you take that for me? I think probably that. Thank you very much. So, well, look, listen, I don't know about you, but you must get fed up with coming to conferences and people like me standing on the stage like this, and they all say the same thing, don't they? They say, the NHS has to change. And they've all got that sort of toffee-nosed NHS improvement voice. The NHS has to change. I don't do a proper job, I work with a department. Yes, the NHS has to. And they do that little bouncy thing when they talk. Have you noticed that? The NHS has to change with that little bouncy thing. That little bouncy thing, that's called anchoring in body language. Body language is very important if you watch people. People say things like, yes, the check's in the post. They scratch their ear, and that's a tell. That tells you that the check isn't in the post. One for the ladies, and the guy says, of course I love you. Both shoulders go up, you're okay. He says, of course I love you. One shoulder down, checking up the office, something's going on. So the NHS has to change. When they do this, like this, they do a little bouncy thing. That's their anchoring. And people anchor, you watch it today when people are presenting, people anchor the things that they're not sure about. The NHS has to change. And what I'm doing now, when I travel around the country, I'm grooming audiences now. I'm grooming audiences. When you hear the word the NHS has to change, you shout like hell, you shout back, how? Right? Because they don't know how. They haven't got a clue how. So we'll practice that. Let's have a little practice, right? Here we go. The NHS has to change.
How?
No. Let's have a go this side here. We do this lot down the middle. You have a bit of a schizophrenic thing going on here. Right, just this side. The NHS has to change. How? Yes, all right. Let's have a go around this side. The Wigan side. The NHS has to change. How? You see? Now let's do it together because we're louder together. The NHS has to change. How? Right, frighten them shitless because they haven't got a clue. They do that, they stick their arse out, don't they, when they talk the NHS has to change. That's because they're talking out of their arse, right? They haven't got a clue how the NHS has got to change. The NHS is the best hospital service system in the world. The Commonwealth Fund, which is nothing to do with the Commonwealth, and it isn't a fund, it's an American think tank, every 2 years they do an assessment of the international standings of healthcare systems worldwide. For the last 3 years running, the last 3 reports running, the NHS has either been top or in the top 3. It is the best value for money healthcare system in the world. I'm just back from Tehran. I was in Tehran 2 or 3 months ago. Why did I go there? Because they wanted to learn how to run an NHS like we run our NHS. It is the envy of the world. But there's no doubt about it, under the current pressures and with the problems that we've got and this sort of idiot government who thinks they can run public services on photographs of money and not real money, we are under the kind of pressure that I've never seen before. I've been in the NHS since about 1974, and I've never seen it under so much pressure. And so you are, and I think it's all of us in this room that agree, as much as we don't want to change the NHS, I mean, what would you change? It's free at the point of need, young or old, rich or poor, drug addict or granny, fall over, trip up, we'll scoop you up, get you in a hospital, fix you up, get you home as fast as we can, as safely as we can. What is there, what do you want to change about that? You know, people talk about, oh, well, the Lib Dems and all that are talking about top-ups now, top-ups, you know. Well, remember this, if you take your taxes out of your right-hand pocket, and you take your top-ups out of your left-hand pocket, it's still your trousers. You still have to pay. You still have to think about what is the best system of collecting the money for paying for healthcare, and I'm yet to see anything that's more efficient than a tax-harvested, central socialised medicine system. But we do know it's under pressure like never before, and we do know that there are things that we could do better. We do know... Who is it? Who is it? Is it you? Is it your mum? Stand up. Stand up. Who is it? Is it you? Stand up, please. Stand up. Apologise to everybody. Sorry, everyone. Give him a round of applause.
Hope you turned yours off, Roy.
No, I thought shit mine's going to go off next. So, where was I? Oh yes, we have got to be more nimble. We have got to approach things in a different way, and that's exactly what you're doing. And this reminds me, you know, of a little experience I had in my life. I mean, I wasn't always a famous international health service guru. I used to have a proper job, and I used to run a string of companies, and one of the companies I ran, we used to build houses. And the great thing about building a house is that if you build other people's houses, you get a whole lot of stuff left over and you can build your own house. Now, it looks a bit peculiar because the bricks don't match and the windows are all different, but you can build your own house, you see. And I'm, as you could probably tell, I'm an East End boy. I then moved from the East End and I grew up in South London, and then, of course, I made a few quid and I moved to Surrey. Surrey. And so I built my own house. We live in houses in Surrey. Built my own house in Surrey, and at that time I was the chairman of the health authority and I was the leader of the council. And every year the chairman had an annual reception. He had a reception at his house. So I had my reception at my house. And I just built my new house in Surrey, and we had a patio. Built a patio, huge great patio. Smooth as a baby's bum, this patio. And I walked across my patio at the chairman's reception. They were all there, the Lord Lieutenant, all the headmistresses of the schools, the magistrates, MP, bank managers. They were all there. The cream of Surrey was at my house. As I walked across my patio, you'd probably have decking. Carrying my salver, I expect you to use a tray, with my flutes. You probably have glasses, full of champagne. I expect you to have Prosecco. I walked across my patio, I got into the middle, and I tripped up. I fell off a tit. ended in a big heap, broken glass, champagne all over me. The Lord Lieutenant leaning over me and said, "I knew we shouldn't let him into Surrey." I felt complete for that. What did I trip over? What did I trip over? I tripped over the joins. Tripped over the joins between the paving sides. Perfectly laid. Each one perfect. Tripped over the joins. And that's where our patients trip over. They trip over the joints. And this is what you'll do. This is what this is all about. This is how we design patient services that don't have the joints. At conferences like this, time and time again, you'll see someone will come with a PowerPoint slide, and in the middle, they'll put a picture of a patient. And round the outside, they'll wrap all the services that they've got. And they'll tell you about a stakeholder meeting that they've had, where everyone got together and put patients at the very centre of everything we're doing, with all the existing services, with all the joins, having redesigned nothing, but they have the donut slide. If ever you see a speaker with a donut slide, get up out of your seat, walk to the front, come up on the stage, and stab them. It's not murder. It's culling. It's getting rid of stinking thinking. We don't want the stinking thinking in the NHS. We want to start with the patient and work backwards. That's how we design services. We don't say, what have we got, and wrap it around people, because what have we got? We may not want to wrap it around people, and we build a patio, and we build it with joints. What we do is we start with the patient and work backwards. And as you work backwards, you'll come across things that you don't want to do anymore. You'll come across things that aren't good enough anymore. You'll come across things you will want to change. Start with the patient and work backwards. And the other thing that you want to do is you want to find out what good looks like. It always amazes me how reluctant we are in the NHS to find out what good really looks like. 157 hospitals, 8,000 GP practices, all coming to work with a strong sense of vocation and enthusiasm despite everything. We come to work every day. Clinicians, managers, porters, everybody comes to work with a strong sense of vocation. But we don't really know whether or not what we're doing is the best we're doing. Because we don't know what good looks like. But you do. You share. Your red and green days that you shared with us at the Academy of Fabulous Staff have gone viral. You've helped to spread good practice, not just in the English health system, but throughout the United Kingdom and further internationally. And you should be very proud of that. And we did that through the Academy of Fabulous Staff. Why did I start the Academy of Fabulous Staff? Well, the story goes back to a hospital where they got themselves into trouble. They got themselves into trouble with chemotherapy. What, you want to come speak?
Yes.
No, you're going to run out of time. They got themselves into trouble with chemotherapy. And they didn't, the truth is they lied. They hid the fact that they got themselves into trouble. Why did they do that? Why did they lie? People like you that come to work with a strong sense of vocation, a big commitment to patients, better yet, why did they lie? Well, the chief executive got sacked, the chairman went, they had a whole new board, there's been a police investigation. Why did that happen? It happened because they were more frightened of the regulator than they were of the relatives and the friends and the patients that they were looking after. And I said, you know what, we need to change that. We have to have a national repository of good stuff. We have to be able to show people what good looks like. And so we started the Academy of Fabulous. And here to tell you about Academy of Fabulous Staff. I can't believe she's in the room. Would you give, please, a very warm Manchester welcome? It's fabulous. It's Dr. Terry Porritt, the Blonde. Hey!
Thank you, Roy, for that introduction and so assiduously sticking to time. I will keep to my allotted 3.5 minutes now. And thank you for allowing us to be here, and thank you all for being such huge supporters of the Academy of Fab Staff. So we launched 18 months ago, as Roy said, and we now have over 1,500 shares on the website. We have about 4,000 people a day looking at the website, looking for fab stuff. And do you know what people look at? They look at the stuff that the ECIST program is doing. They look at red to green. They look at the safer patient bundles. They look at flow, all the initiatives around flow. So you and the work that you are doing has been hugely instrumental in making Fab NHS staff the social movement that it's become now. And I'd like to thank you in advance for your support for Fab Change Day, which is on October the 19th. And Fab Change Day is an opportunity for us to put a year of ideas into action. Okay, so Fab Change Day is one day that marks the beginning of a year of ideas into action. And we have on the home page of the website, you will see on the home page a huge red button. If you push that red button, you can pledge, and you can pledge specifically around red to green. There's a specialist campaign template there for you, but equally you can pledge whatever you want. And the app will work with you to support you to make sure that your change becomes a reality. So as you pledge, instead of it being on a post-it note and stuck on the wall, it will be an electronic pledge which you can go back into. You can add what you've done, you can add what works. When you've completed your pledge, you push complete, and it makes a poster for you that you can electronically send around to your work environment, and it will also go immediately onto Fab NHS stuff and be shared with the wider health and social care community. And what we're going to be able to do is communicate with people that use the electronic pledge to offer help. We've got a huge network of experts in different fields of healthcare. If you get stuck, if you don't know how to analyse your data, if you don't know how to develop an evaluation tool, if you're getting stuck with process, we have people that will directly help you so that nobody should feel frustrated and not be able to complete the change that they want to do. So not only are we supporting you pledging, we're supporting you completing your change action. So we're looking forward, and I actually have no doubt that red to green and flow are probably going to be the most used templates and most shared initiatives out of Change Day. I'm hoping you're not going to prove me wrong. I have some cards. Myself and Roy are around all day. If you want to have a look at the app, if you want to see how it works, if you want any more details, then please do contact us. And it's amazing for us to be here today, to see you all have your packs of your quick...
Rapid improvement guides.
Rapid...
Improvement guides.
Those are the ones, I knew that. Rapid improvement guides. And they're great that they've been published now and they're available for you. Amazing also that they've been on Fab NHS stuff for a number of months, and again are one of the most used and downloaded resources on the website. So in the interest of time,
I'm back.
We're looking forward to spending the day with you. I'm sure it's going to flow smoothly. And you're going to be far better at your time keeping in your groups. Do it. Flow. We're going to, yeah.
Oh, it's a joke. Give her a round of applause.
I'm a nurse, you see. I can't do the kind of jokes and non-PC stuff because I need to stay on the nursing
register. She's a colorectal nurse, actually.
Yeah, Which is why I'm so good at working with people like this.
She works where the sun don't shine.
Yeah. Okay, so have a great day. It is your day, and I'm sure you're going to participate and really enjoy your group breakout sessions. Over to our next
speaker, right? It's our great pleasure to introduce the next speaker. I've known the next speaker for a long time. He was a fellow youth when he was actually he was the director of HR in the NHS, huge big job, and was responsible for completely reforming all our contracts in those days. He had a big job. He's since gone on to become one of the most effective chief executives that we have. He's run more than one hospital, which is a feat in itself. Running one hospital is a feat. He's a very highly respected and very busy guy, and we're very lucky to have him with us here today. So will you please give a really warm conference welcome. I can't believe he's here. Big it up. He's one of the NHS's superstars, an icon of performance. It's Andrew Foster! Woo!
Well, thank you, Roy. Is Steve Christian here somewhere? Steve, why did I ever agree to go on after him? Am I going to stick my arse up and say, I've got